And so, you know, the kind of the catchword in the development community is social capital. I think we tried to go a little further than that, and had this idea of total well-being, wholeness, and said that what we want to be part of is a program or as a strategy that doesn't just bring resources to a poor community, but we wanted to be sure that it increased the well-being of the people in the community in the way that they understood it. So they themselves, not just we as onlookers and so, well, you know, they're cleaner now and they know how to write, you know, they know how to do, you know, sums and add and subtract and all that sort of thing. They know, and so we say, well, by our standards, they're better off. But no, we wanted to be sure that they sensed that they were better off. So that the things that are associated, and I've learned a little bit more about all of that with Lacey's help, about well-being and about the whole lot of research that's now occurring and how to measure well-being and have a better understanding of, and the possibility of actually going in and saying, measuring, are these people actually experiencing a high level of well-being as a result of the intervention that's occurred in their community. And some of the things we're looking for in that are gratitude. There's this great sense of, I'm just grateful, you know, I'm a grateful person. Courage. We, as human beings, experience great well-being when we've exercised courage and we've overcome, taken a risk. And of course, I'm sure you can start thinking now about what happens is so often with people who, for example, receive benefits. Do you find people who receive benefits, say in New Zealand, are generally grateful? You found that? I haven't. You know what I mean? In fact, they're angry because they don't have enough. You know, so there's something about that strategy, say, for me, that's not good enough to achieve the goal of enhancing well-being. Because I want to see people that feel grateful, not to us or at all, but grateful to be alive, grateful for the opportunities, grateful, to have life and to be living where they are and to be doing what they're doing. So gratitude, courage, contentment, quality of relationships, that's the idea of social capital, moral integrity, and meaning. So those are some of the for me, the attributes that I'm looking for when I say enhancing well-being. And the fourth one is, we use a different terminology, but I like your terminology more. I picked it up in some of the literature that I got from the latter project. I think it's from you guys. It's got a lovely ring about it. The smallest thing to make the biggest difference. Does that belong to you?
Could be Justin.
Okay.
Or was it Adam?
I don't know.
It's a great line. The smallest thing to make the greatest difference. And the words we've used is to be catalytic, to be minimalistic, self-sustaining, and preferably self-perpetuating. So we're not just looking for self-sustaining, we're looking for self-perpetuating. So we're looking for an intervention that when our intervention is over, it doesn't just keep going, sort of like at the same level as when we left, but it actually keeps growing. So self-perpetuating. Okay? So these ideas are, in part, summed up in my favourite quote in development. It's 2,700 years old, this quote, from a guy called Lao Tzu, Chinese. And this is what he said: go to the people, live with them, learn from them, love them, start with where they know. So start with what they know, build with what they have. But with the best leaders, when the work is done, the people will say, we've done this ourselves. Go to the people, live with them, learn from them, love them, start with what they know, and build with what they have. But with the best leaders, when the work is done, the people will say, we've done this ourselves. Okay, so that's the assignment that, Carla really led the charge on that, and after about 18 months, we settled on a development strategy which I would have to say is quite fringe in the development community, certainly not mainstream. that we felt met those criteria and did it in the best way that we couldn't find anything better than that. Now we started our journey first at looking at, we thought it was kind of in the area of microcredit, like small business loans, people, that's where we started the journey. And then we went from there, because when we then discovered that in that strategy, in our opinion, it didn't meet our second criteria, first do no harm, because we came across numbers of people who had experienced considerable harm through that strategy. So we had to sort of leave that because of our guiding principle. And then we moved to micro savings, and then we moved from micro savings to what we now call savings-led skills and values training. Savings-led skills and values training. Okay, and I'll give you a little bit of a handout in a minute to explain how that works. All right. No, I'll do it now.
You're fine on time, Paul. We just go till you stop. Really?
Yeah, cool. Good. Okay, so it's savings-led community development through life skills and values coaching.
We do know everyone here, and we're all connected to a church community, if that helps you understand.
Cool. Got more?
Perfect number.
Okay. All right. So we start with the table in the middle. Is that there is a manager, and the manager has. In this case, I think there's 9 or 10 coaches, and those coaches, each coach has 10 groups that they're responsible for, and each group has about 14 families or family representatives in each group. So the total number of families that are reached through that structure is about 1,200 families, and that translates to about 3,000 people. And the strategy, let's look at the model first of all, on the box on the top left-hand corner. The strategy involves forming these people into groups, and first of all, giving them a vision of what can be possible in 14 years by bringing in people from other communities that have already experienced this transformation, so that there's a vision there, there's a sense of hope that's imparted. We can move out of this terrible state that we're in now. And then slowly on, through very carefully, what we call a calibrated process, so step by step, and a bit like good teaching is always carefully calibrated. Like you don't introduce sentences to a child that's learning to read. You introduce letters and then words, and you build. And so that's how the coaches interact with their groups, is that they carefully build precept upon precept and skill upon skill, and so that after the 14 years, as it says on the right hand side on the top, there's no need for any outside funding. All the staff, that's the coaches and the manager, are placed at other projects, so they leave this community. They're democratically elected community leaders, chosen from within the community at all 3 levels, and there's ongoing community development, which is self-funding. So